Welcome viewers, you're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli, and let me tell you about something very interesting today. Now viewers, at the bottom of the sea, Iran's navy has a safe haven that the United States of America cannot reach. And let me get you the details. We're of course aware of this war that has been going on for the longest time, and of course the kind of strategies that Iran is applying when it comes to countering the attacks that US is doing on them, and all of the strategies that both the countries have employed viewers since the very beginning. And of course that makes a war very interesting. I will never say that a war, something as devastating as a war, is interesting, but the kind of the kind of strategies that we've seen from all sides when it comes to this war has been very interesting. But let me tell you what this latest interesting development is. Now, ever since the US and the Israel's war began with Iran, US President Donald Trump has repeatedly mocked the Iranian Navy, and he's always portrayed that it is a force that can be crushed by the US beyond recovery. So Donald Trump has always mocked Iran for its capabilities, but as we've seen in the war, Iran has been giving a fitting response to the US. In spite of being a smaller country, in spite of having a lesser military strength, Iran is not backing down and is standing its ground. Now, what has here happened is that, his latest jab, viewers, came on Wednesday, Donald Trump's jab on Iran, when he shared a meme on Truth Social targeting CNN's reporting on Iran's naval capabilities. The AI-generated underwater image showed Iranian warships resting on the seabed. Trump meant to say that American military action had effectively wiped out Iran's maritime power. But there is a wing, viewers, of irrespective of what Trump says in his memes, in all of these memes and otherwise in general, there is a wing of the Iranian Navy that the US cannot touch. And let me tell you how. Now, Trump's boast is not entirely without basis. He has been boasting a lot, but US and Israeli strikes have inflicted severe damage on Iran's primal naval assets in the Persian Gulf, which is the south coast of Iran. So that is the truth, that is the reality. All of these attacks have sank vessels, degrading the force's capabilities. Yet, the point of conversation here is that yet up north, far from the Gulf waters, Iran has a functioning northern fleet in the landlocked Caspian Sea. So this is in the Caspian Sea. Iran has a northern fleet and it's very much functioning. The US has avoided targeting it so far in the war, and this naval wing has been the lifeline of Iran in the asymmetric war. Now, the Northern Fleet, let me tell you about it. The Northern Fleet's existence has so far fallen on US's blind spot, perhaps to push the rhetoric that it is the winner. Protected by a very unique geopolitical environment of the Caspian Sea, Iran's Northern Naval Force not only remains afloat, but has supported the country through the war in ways that did not make headlines. So it didn't come out in the media, it wasn't hyped as such. But now let me tell you, the littoral states of the Caspian Sea at the Tariq, Tariq is Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Russia, Iran and Kazakhstan. And that's exactly where things get tricky here. Like the Persian Gulf, the Caspian Sea is also a geopolitical pool, but far harder to navigate because Russia and China have a significant influence in this region. Now, the Central Asian republics, which was once part of the Soviet Union, have long been considered part of Russia's strategic sphere of influence. So, Iran's Northern Fleet, let's circle back to that, formerly known as the Fourth Naval Region of the Islamic Republic of Iran Navy, is headquartered at the strategic port of Bandar Anzali in Gilan province along the Caspian Sea's southern coast. Now, this was established to secure Iran's northern maritime frontier. The fleet plays a vital role in border protection, training and limited power projection in the body of watershed with Russia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan. Now, let me give you more details. Now, as of recent estimates, the fleet includes approximately 3,000 personnel and a modest but capable mix of vessels suited to the Caspian's relatively shallow waters. Now, Iran's key assets include one Murj class frigate, such as the INS Delaman, commissioned in 2023, which is, and also one corvette, several fast attack craft equipped with anti-ship missiles, a minesweeper, and around 10 patrol boats. So all of this is what this involves. Now, these platforms support coastal defense, search and rescue operations, and joint training activities rather than blue water power projection. So now this is very unlike Iran's southern navy, viewers, which has faced repeated confrontations in the high tension Persian Gulf. The northern fleet focuses on defensive and cooperative missions. So it serves as both, viewers, as a training hub and as a logistical base. Now, Iran has domestic shipbuilding facilities in Bandar Anzali, producing vessels like the Pekin-class missile boats to bolster its presence. The fleet's integration into the broader Iran structure allows it to support national security objectives without drawing the same level of international scrutiny as operations near the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Wall Street Journal has recently reported that Israeli strikes damaged infrastructure and vessels at Bandar Anzali, including naval headquarters. Nevertheless, the fleet's core operations have continued. So now let me tell you, viewers, how the Caspian Sea is shielding Iran's northern fleet. Now, the primary reason the US and Israel have shown restraint towards Iran's northern fleet in the Caspian Sea is, viewers, let me tell you why, because of its geopolitical situation. As a landlocked body of water, it falls outside traditional open ocean naval operations and is governed by agreements among the 5 littoral states. Russia maintains a significant Caspian flotilla, and its close military partnership with Iran creates a deterrent against direct US intervention that could risk confrontation with Moscow. Moreover, there are more points to this, there are more angles to this. Joint naval exercises between Iran and Russia, such as Kassereg series, have become regular features. These drills, often framed as search and rescue or maritime security operations, enhance coordination and signal strategic alignment to other regional players, including the Central Asian nations. And Russia, viewers, has always relied on the Caspian route, and that is to supply Iran with critical components, particularly for drone production, helping Tehran rebuild its capabilities amid sanctions and battlefield losses. So this, viewers, is the hidden, let me just say, hidden weapon that Iran has, which America has not been able to reach. So viewers, what we have been seeing in this war is that in spite of being a smaller nation with lesser military capabilities, nobody in the world can compare to America's prowess. But the kind of retaliation, the kind of responses that Iran has been giving America are something to be noted here, which means there are different strategies that are applied in the war as well. You know, if you're not militarily strong, doesn't mean that you are a weak country. You know, Donald Trump in his wildest dreams hadn't thought. He thought he will heckle them and they'll come around. But that is not something we're seeing in this war. And Iran refuses to back down. When it comes to all of the war updates, NewsX will surely keep you posted about what happens next. But leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this. Thank you so much for watching.